This summer, coming to a supermarket near you. There's going to be a great new high-C flavor with an outrageous fruit taste. And what are we going to call it? Ecto Cooler. High-C Ecto Cooler. Slimer's new fruit drink. You've been warned.
And just like the movies will play out our last scene, you won't cry, I won't scream.
There hasn't been a ghost sighting in 30 years. New York in the 80s? It's like The Walking Dead.
What exactly is happening here?
Egon came out here for a reason. We need to finish what our grandfather started.
That's not good.
Something's coming.
What is that?
Rated PG-13, now playing.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's a drink! No, I only do that if I hate the movie.
Oh my god, that was a bad idea. Now I have to go through with it.
No, don't. No.
You can't spit it out on camera.
I usually do it. If I ever hate a movie, I shove the tick out my mouth, I just roll the window down. Pooh.
Yeah, but that's littering. There, it's done. Okay, hello. On my old web show, I ate an entire fanfic.
Oh my god.
Did you see that one?
I hate to see what comes out.
It'll be fine.
You sure?
I'm sure. I wouldn't recommend doing that, though. Like I said before, on the old web show, I ate a fanfic, and,
Why would you eat a ticket to a good movie?
I don't know, spur of the moment. Now it'll live forever in my stomach. It's like gum, it'll stay there for 7 years.
Processing. It's definitely processing. I saw this one before you, and I enjoyed it.
Yes.
It was nice seeing it a second time around.
Yes.
But I'll definitely say seeing it with you was definitely better.
Yes. We watched the first movie back at my house. We watched the fan edit that he had done. I had seen the first movie before, but it was like years ago, probably when I was like a teenager. So I remembered most of it, but it was interesting seeing the fan edit. I never saw the second movie, but I don't think you really need to see the second movie to see this movie.
There are some light connections to the second one, but it's not like too obvious. It basically says, yes, the sequel is canon in the universe, but I feel like it's going more towards the original film.
Yes, it has a lot of nods to the original. Oh, and that ending.
I cried too.
Yeah, a movie's good if you cry at the end, unless you're crying of frustration, but this was
Yeah.
It was very touching.
I would love to see how this would have played if it came out in the summer, because it's a smaller movie.
Yeah.
A much smaller movie. It's a $75 million film, so it really shows what they were scaling back and what they were working with.
And I liked that they still used, like, practical effects and animatronics. I loved that. Like, I think there was a little bit of CGI, but a lot of it was practical effects, and you don't really see that in today's media anymore.
That was like a major step up. Just
Yeah.
seeing those creatures and also some of the ghosts. I don't think the ghosts were practical, but if they are, those are some really good blends.
They did a good job with that. And, like, they didn't make the monsters look different. They looked the same.
How do you think about the granddaughter Phoebe and her plot device?
I liked her a lot. You could definitely
Thank
tell. You could definitely tell that she was Egon's granddaughter. I mean, they did such a fantastic, like, both of the kids, they did a fantastic job casting them, especially when they show, like, Egon from the first movie. I'm just gonna say it's the kid from Stranger Things.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
Finn
he looks
Wolfhard.
like him. And I thought that was a really, really nice touch. It's like, I love the attention to detail when they do good job casting, like, family and stuff like that.
So at least they look related,
Yes.
and you can definitely tell the actress who plays Phoebe, she definitely feels like a mini version of Egon, just from the techno jargon.
Yeah, and the mannerisms.
The running gag for telling bad jokes.
Yes. Which I thought some of them were funny, but
It pays off very
Yeah.
nicely in the end. I thought it paid off very good.
yeah.
The stuff of them going to this small town and the fact that there is like a history of Egon being there and things like that, that was interesting. When I saw it for the first time around, the first half of the movie I thought was like a little rocky.
Yeah.
Up until they got to the second cameo of one of the characters from Ghostbusters, and when they start going into the history of why they broke up and everything like that, that's where my interest kind of got together. But seeing this again, it's definitely a little bit better. There's
Yeah.
a lot more that I think is kind of interesting. There's some groaner kind of stuff, but I don't want to
Yeah.
ruin it.
There were some things that were kind of like, okay, really. But overall, though, it was a nice watch.
It was a really good treat to see, especially
Yes.
in a cinema like this with
Yes.
rocking seats.
Yes, we went to the cinema that's in my hometown, and it's a smaller cinema, but it's a very nice cinema. It's reclining seats. They're very, very comfortable. It's not at all claustrophobic. We saw the director's cut of Rocky the other week.
Oh, at
and-
that Marlboro cinema, yeah.
and I mean, it was a nice cinema, but very claustrophobic, and the prices of the snacks.
Yeah.
I paid more for the snacks than he paid for the tickets. Not by a lot, but
No,
still.
no,
It was
heavens
kind
no.
of like you got like what, a hot dog?
Mhm.
And we sell the same hot dogs at my place of work for like $1.25 a pop, and his hot dog, which was the exact same hot dog, was like $6. But hey, we're not reviewing a theater, we're reviewing a movie,
No,
so
we're reviewing a film. I mean, at least the experience was much better here.
yes.
Because when I went to see it last week, they had some issues starting the projector.
Oh,
So I got in, house lights are on, the movie hasn't started.
yeah.
Nothing started, so they had to get someone to go out to the lobby and tell them they were having issues. So they finally turned the projector on. They had one of those, like, advertising thingies, like, front and center, movie news. And then they stopped it, jumped right to the movie, but the house lights were still on, and they were on for a good minute, so I couldn't even see what was happening.
Yeah, because they had the lights on during the post-credit stuff, and it was a
Mm.
little hard to see. It's like you could have
Yeah.
waited to turn. It's like especially if it's like a Marvel movie, it's
Yeah.
like there's always going to be
You
mid scenes and post-credit scenes. It's like,
You could have dimmed the lights a little
Yeah.
bit. I mean, we were the only two people there.
yeah,
Maybe it's a automated thing where they set like a timer or something for the
yeah,
lights.
it's probably like as soon as the credits roll, because
So how do you think this compares to the first film, given that you saw it earlier today?
I thought it matched the first film very well.
Same.
It kept with the lore. I liked that they had like the original music.
The Elmer Bernstein score.
Yes. I liked the characters a lot. I could have done without the mini plot with the police officer.
Oh, that kind of went nowhere.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
was,
it
it was
did-
just there for a hurdle.
Yeah, it was just. I mean, I thought it was a little much. I'm gonna throw these kids in jail, and we're not gonna believe them when they say there's a ghost, even though half the fucking town literally witnessed this thing flying all over the place.
It's one of those running cliches.
Yeah.
Just,
Which I could have gone without.
clouds murder space. Holy shit.
Yeah, I could have gone without. But
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like as annoying as the Mean Girls in Last Night in Soho. That was just.
Yeah. What'd you think of podcast?
Oh my god, he was adorable. And the little mini Stay Puft Marshmallows, he was so.
You were cracking.
Well, they
you were
were-
cracking
like,
so much when they came out. The little.
Well, I got spoiled. Like, I knew about them existing, but I think the clips that I saw, because at my work I don't have the sound on for my phone, so I was just
Oh.
seeing still. So when you actually see them, they're making those noises. I was like, oh my god, they're so cute.
Merry Christmas, Megan. It's a little mini Stay Puft. Just don't eat it after midnight.
I can't say the same for my cat. He'll probably try to go after that.
For me, podcast is all right. He was the Ray of the bunch.
Yeah.
The Dan Aykroyd by his mannerisms
Yeah.
and the subject he gets into. And there were some little nice payoffs with his material, like, oh, the show hasn't found its voice until like episode 46.
Yeah.
Watching it a second time, he didn't annoy me as much as the first time around.
Yeah.
I do think some of his bits could have been like maybe toned down a little bit.
Mm.
Oh my goodness, there's some evil ghosts around this town. Ooh, bummer. Like little things like that they could have just
Yeah.
trimmed back.
Yeah, I like the brother. He was... I mean, he didn't do too much in the film, but...
Yeah, it's more Phoebe's story when you think about it. And it does make sense.
Yeah. But I did still... I liked everyone. It was a really good film.
It's definitely a much smaller movie. I would say it's more like an expensive fan film, which is basically just, you know, an enthusiast or a fan just doing their own version of a sequel or something like that. And this is what it comes off to me, but it's more well done. There is genuine heart, and I think that's the key essential thing. There's heart to it.
Yes.
If it was just a shameless rehash, then I would have walked out at a very certain point.
Yeah.
And it does recap, well, not really recap, it does reenact things in the first movie, and I'm not going to ruin too much of it. And I'm going to forgive that a little bit because there's a point to it. There's a reason where it goes and where it leads to. At least there's an actual reason why it's in some of the trailers, so I guess I can kind of give a schmutzing of this away. They bring Gozer back, but at least it's done better than Palpatine in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. Skywalker suffered from way too much studio meddling.
Too many cooks.
Yeah, if they went with the original script, I did feel like that would have been a lot better. And I did like all three movies. Oh, no. But I will say that the third one was definitely the weakest. And although I did feel like it made sense that Palpatine was still around, how they explained it was just really stupid. It was just one of the characters was like, oh, well, somehow he's back. And at least the novelization went into way more detail about why he came back. But I feel like the novelization of movies tends to fix the glaring plot holes in said movies.
Same thing with Dick Tracy. That's another story for another day.
One movie, Dragonheart, which I love that movie. The novelization of that movie is amazing. It's really, really good.
I wonder if they went by Patrick Reed Johnson's original script because his original draft was so tear-jerking.
Yeah.
So I kind of wonder if that's what they used for publication.
Yeah. I think it was like the guy who did the screenplay who did the novel.
But no, when they started rehashing some of the Gozer stuff, I'm like, really? We're doing all this? But then they reveal near the end why, and it's like, oh, I never thought of it that way. Okay, I'm actually kind of okay with this.
Yes.
And then you get to that climax, everything just sort of perfectly clicks together.
Yes.
I don't want to say too much. I mean, it's already out in theaters. A lot of people have seen it, but at the same time, it's like there's a handful that haven't.
Yeah.
Especially a good friend of mine. So I'm just going to leave it off and say, if you love the original movie, it's solid.
Yes.
It's a very solid, fresh step in the right direction. And given how the final post-credit after the final credits goes, it's sort of connected to an idea that Dan Aykroyd had with the original treatment. If it's going in that direction, I would love to see what they could do with it.
Yes. Yes.
Were there any negatives you had about this one? Just curious.
Were
there any negatives you had about this one? Just curious.
Not really.
I just think about Paul Rudd and as the science teacher that's showing him like all these classic movies.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's not appropriate for children, but okay.
Hey, there's an amazing movie that we're showing Cujo. It reminds me in high school when we had this gym teacher being a science teacher, but he would always show us like stuff like Armageddon or Deep Impact in the second half of class.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd recommend go and see this movie if you're a Ghostbusters fan.
Same. If you're a little biased of the first movie, and a little annoyed by some of the callbacks and stuff, because there are some that work and some that don't. Like, we don't need like a 5-second shot of a Twinkie. I mean, some of the little things too, like finding a Crunch bar in one of the jumpsuits, that's fine. But then there were some that were just a little too on the nose, but it's just gone. It's there for a few seconds and it just goes. That's the important aspect.
Yeah.
There's cool Easter eggs. There's some that linger for too long. The cameos, without giving too much away, they were a nice surprise. Especially when they arrive at certain points in the movie. They were really good.
Yes.
Why did I cry again at the end of this movie?
Well, we can't say because then we'll spoil it.
I know. It's just...
There's nothing wrong with crying.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh. So we only had 2 trailers for this one.
Yes. The Matrix trailer, which we've seen so many times at this point, it's memorized in my head.
More memorizing. Licorice Pete is more memorizing. I want to know where that movie goes.
Yes. What was the other trailer?
Turning Red.
Oh, that
was the
weird
teaser.
Which, to me, it's like, it's a metaphor for, You're psycho. I mean, come on. It's a teenage girl. She's getting embarrassed, and she turns into a gigantic red panda.
Because Red Panda. Oh, you didn't see the new trailer, did you?
No.
It gets worse.
Oh, it does it?
They go the Teen Wolf route. This is something that happens in our family every generation.
I did kind of think of Teen Wolf a little bit, just more extreme.
It is. It's Teen Wolf with, pardon my French, because I don't want to sound like a boomer.
I'm sorry,
but
I'm going to criticize
it's
this
Teen Wolf with
immediately.
millennials.
She turns into a gigantic panda, and then she turns back into a little girl, and her clothing is magically still there. It's like, no. Pull a
Here's-
Goku where he is completely butt naked when he's no longer the ape. Oh, wait, we can't do that because it's Disney.
Anyway. This went off the rails fast. Oh, a nice, sweet, heart-filled Ghostbusters movie. What the hell is this Pixar film about puberty?
Yeah, the gigantic red panda.
I don't want to judge a trailer already, but here's what doesn't make sense for me. You have a girl that gets super excited, turns into a red panda. That does not make sense.
No.
I mean, if she was like shy or something, that would kind of work a little bit, or
But wouldn't that make it worse? Oh, I'm shy. Oh, no, I'm a panda!
no, like she's super, super shy, and then when she starts like becoming more involved and like, you know, gets excited, that's when she turns to red panda and realizes that she either wants to go back to either that shy, quiet self where it's all like her own inner bubble and stuff, like, yeah, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like they don't know what it's like to be overjoyed and happy, and
Yeah.
when they do, they realize there's a problem to it. I think that would be a lot more interesting than them
Yeah.
just being like, I'm free spirit and everything, listen to all this. And, oh man, the movie's supposed to be set in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And this is where it really irks me because they start, it's a small clip you see him in the hallway, like going, we're going to save the environment of environmentalist club. And it's like, that wasn't popular until 2006. Why are you setting this in 2002?
Yeah.
Like, all the power to you. If it's good, okay, maybe it will be good. But just looking from the trailers, I don't have much interest. I'll probably just rent it.
Yeah. Well, next week we should watch the Gucci movie.
The Gucci movie?
Yes.
You mean a Gucci movie?
A Gucci movie.
A very extremely Gucci movie?
A very extremely Lady Gaga Gucci movie.
I don't think you kind of get where I'm getting at here.
The Goofy movie?
Yep.
Yes, I did.
Not the reaction I was hoping for, but okay. Yeah, House of Gucci it is.
Yes.
I would make the obvious House of Goofy, but many have done it. I'll definitely get the schedule on deck.
Okie dokie.
Okay. It was nice seeing you again.
Nice seeing you too.
All
Now
right.
let's eat some steak.
Later.